So the special guest is Ladies First, the one and only.
Oh my! So am I talking to you, or am I kind of going back and forth?
You can go back and forth if you want to. This is gonna be really.
I mean, at least you're that way. I have to.
Right.
Do this.
Just shake your head. She's gonna be fast forward like no.
I got this lip action.
Right. Okay, so.
Your Royal Highness.
Yes.
The editor of Polyphony magazine. Am I enunciating it properly now?
Polyphony magazine.
Polyphony. I massacred it.
Yes.
You know,
yeah.
But we met at the Cheesecake Factory, and I could not.
I know most people are not familiar with that term unless you're from the music industry. If you're from the music industry, then you know that the word polyphony means a blending of harmonies and melodies. And so it's kind of a musical term, but the reason why I used it for the magazine is because, to me, life is a blending of melodies and harmonies, whether it be people, attitudes, style, whatever. It's just a blending of people. So that's why we went with that name, even though it's a musical term. And it's been a journey.
The journey begins.
Yes.
You and Matt came up with the term.
Actually, Matt. I have to give all credit to Matt.
Who's your?
He is my right-hand man. I am like the founder of the magazine. The magazine goes back to the Detroit International Jazz Magazine. That's where it started. There were a couple of other people involved in addition to myself and Matt. Those people decided to move on, and Matt and I were left with it. And we decided that we were going to give it an overall new theme, new look, new name. And so that's where Polyphony came along. And with that, we not only still feature music, but we also feature anything artistic or creative. We've had actors from the OWN network on the cover. We've had sound engineers for major music people in the industry. And most currently, we have the CEO and founder of Imagine Movie Theaters on the cover. So it's just a, if not locally, nationally, or even globally.
So when you started it, you said you started 11 years ago.
No, I started in the music industry 11 years ago, but the magazine has been in existence now. We're on our 6th year.
Right.
Total, like not Polyphony. Polyphony started 3 years ago, but it was still all part of the original magazine.
Yes.
We just gave it a new name and opened up other categories into it.
So then when you talk about it, if it's about music and everything, where are you musically? Are you musically inclined in a certain area? Your father was a pianist?
My father was a pianist. He did try to get me to learn piano, but he said that I would have to cut my nails off. And that wasn't going to happen.
Okay, wait. Let's look at these nails. Those nails are... They're nice.
Nails where I'm going, Daddy. Rest in heaven. So I stemmed off somewhere different, and I was a ballet dancer for 13 years.
Oh, cool.
And I took that to, I was young, and so I took that to a very high level. I was in a dance company, and I was on point, and we traveled around, and so I do miss those days. But my knees suffered along the way, and so I can't really do a whole lot of that anymore. So I've always had like the music around me. So, but am I musically inclined as far as an instrument? No, but I'm around musicians all the time, and there's a certain energy that comes with being around live music, talented people, and I can't seem to get away from it. Don't want to, actually.
Can't get away. It keeps dragging you back.
Don't want to.
She said it keeps dragging her back.
Yes. Even though the magazine might have different forms of the industry in it, I always end back at the music. So the magazine was originally all music. It is now, we categorize it as a lifestyles magazine because it's just all kinds of lifestyles now.
What sort of lifestyle?
Like
questions and things?
Well, no, as far as now, other than musicians, as I spoke before, we have actors, sound engineers. Now we have the owner of a major movie theater branch on the cover. So that meaning lifestyles, like whatever path they're on.
Okay, I was thinking you were talking about kitchen cabinets or something like
No, no kitchen cabinets.
No cabinets. We're gonna keep that in the closet, please.
Yes. There are some other categories though that we are embedding into the magazine. We kind of started off kind of small with it, and that is wellness. Wellness of the mind, body, and spirit. We do have a writer that writes on like the more the spiritual side of it. So my task in 2018 is to find some writers that would be willing to contribute as far as eating healthy eating, and that would be great. Even maybe like recipes that they've come up with, because we can't take a recipe off the Food Network and slap it in the magazine. That's not going to work. So they'd have to be creative with that. So those are goals for 2018, because I'm kind of, the older I get, I'm more mindful about what I'm putting inside my body. In 2016, well, I still have a little, but
she's talking about my gut.
No,
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not talking about anybody but me. I'm
a little extra here. I don't think we were gonna go that far.
I'm specifically talking about myself. I've just gotten on this little healthier kick in the last year or so. Joined the gym, more exercise in my life, and learning how to eat to live instead of living to eat, kind of thing.
I love to eat. I mean,
and believe me, I do too. But the older we get, we kind of got to be a little bit more mindful, because they have ramifications later in life. And so,
you're trying to suck it in now.
Yeah, we're gonna suck it in right now.
Kind of late.
So too late. So those are categories that we want to put more focus on into the magazine in 2018. I do have one writer right now. Her name is Chandra. She has had a traumatic weight loss story, and so she writes for the magazine in each issue now. And she shows videos of herself working out, the kind of exercising she does, and how she eats and what inspired her. We also have another incredible weight loss story in the magazine right now from a gentleman in New York, and I've been following his story for a year. And his before and after pictures are just incredible.
Debbie, you need to go ahead right now. We're giving you 3 seconds. 3 seconds right now. Go to Polyphony.com.
Polyphony. It's actually polyphonymagazine.com, and it's POLYPHONY magazine.com.
Right now, download it, subscribe. Subscribe right now. We give you. I'm counting. 1, 2.
You don't even have to download. You just go there.
Do it.
All free material.
Oh, that's nice.
There's no cost to that.
That's nice.
She's being super nice to you all.
Yeah.
I would have made y'all charge.
There's no cost. So this is all just information, that I put out there to enlighten people and to help promote people, bring them to the forefront. And a lot of times whoever lands on the cover, I personally select, and that's normally someone that's just made significant impact in one way, shape, or form or another, to draw their audience in. And so there's a strategy all behind the cover stories always.
Yeah. Okay, so this issue is dealing with the
Paul Glantz, founder, CEO of Imagine Movie Theaters here in Michigan. So yeah, great guy, super interview. We had a blast doing it, and all I'll say is that for the next issue that comes out in December, right before the holidays start, you're so funny, is a pianist from Cuba.
Ooh.
And he had a love and passion for the piano and wanted so desperately to come into America to pursue his dreams as a pianist, and he couldn't get out of the country. He finally got out of the country, and his mentor is Quincy Jones. That's all.
Mic drop.
So I'm telling you.
That's a nice
Mic
story.
drop.